Welcome to Black Businesses Matter, a podcast about why Black businesses matter and the benefits of collaborating and advocating for Black businesses to drive impact. Each episode will cover legacy, hope, Black joy, funding sources, cultural shifts, equality, and so much more. Known as the brand maven who transforms organizations with her storytelling prowess, meet Larvetta L. Lofton, host of Black Businesses Matter.
I am Larvetta Lofton, your host and the founder of the L3 Agency.
We will provide inspiration and action while spreading some joy to a thriving community of Black business owners and leading thought leaders.
Well, I'm excited, guys. I'm really excited because, as you all know, we've been doing this food series and we've been highlighting food engineers, nutritionists. Our next guest, guys, you're going to hear about her personal story and the triumph in building a business that I love. And she too is selling in grocers and grocery stores. And so I think it's important. And as we move into this food season, we know the holiday times makes you just want to be cozy next to the fireplace, fake fireplace, whatever it is, because you can do an online fireplace, whatever it is, and sit and make new recipes for yourself, or you can just sit and snack, whatever it is. But there are healthy snacks that you can do this season. And we are here celebrating and honoring Black businesses who have built food products that are sold in grocery stores, that are sold online. So that means that all of our listeners can get it. They can go online and they can order it, because that's something that we felt we love our caterers. We love our food businesses. This isn't to take them away, but we felt like Chicago has all these amazing food engineers and designers and creatives, because I think food is a form of creativity that are building on something that we can all indulge in and feel good about ourselves. And so our next guest, guys, literally, she came into the studio. She's the only guest that has come into the studio and have brought us gifts that we can eat. So I'm excited that she came bearing gifts that would make us feel really, really good inside. And it really did make me feel good inside, because the holiday season, that's what we do. So she came in with these amazing snacks. So I'm just going to tell you, you're going to want to do this. You know what? Matter of fact, I'm thinking about this, guys. You can almost make you a granola charcuterie board. With all of your, I know, right? I just came up with that. All right, Lisa, I just had a moment. I was like, because you kind of built that for us in a roundabout way. And so we were able to have granola and have it in so many different ways. So I'm going to bring up our next guest, Lisa. She has been gluten-free since 2009. And we're going to learn about what gluten-free is, because I think sometimes people don't know what that is. She's been gluten-free since 2009, formulated Mrs. P's G-Free Incorporated after working farmers markets and taking an accelerated course at Sunshine Enterprises, which is actually in Chicago. Lisa certified Mrs. P's G-Free on December 23rd, 2015. So right around the same time that we're here, then had products on the shelf at Whole Foods Market starting a year later. Lisa is determined to take her family's generational tragedy and turn it into triumph. And we're going to talk a little bit about that. Mrs. P's G-Free Incorporated has products in 26 Whole Foods markets and 44 Mariano's locations in and around Chicagoland. So for our listeners, Mariano's is our grocery store chain, so that you all know what that is. But she also has items in Amazon. You can go online. Yes. Walmart, you can go online. Walmart Marketplace, Community Fresh Market, which is still here. And I think they have some in the Chicagoland area. In Nourish and plus Bloom. You have to tell me about that. Yeah. In Fayetteville, Georgia, and on their e-commerce website, Mrs. P's gluten-free. And I want to make sure I get that, because now that she told me who Mrs. P, I want to make sure we honor Mrs. P. Yes. So welcome to the show, Lisa.
Well, thank you.
Did I tell you the first one that has ever brought us gifts? So know that anybody that comes behind us, I'm gonna need you guys to come into our studio with a gift. I'm just saying. I'm just putting it out there. But she gave us granola, and I will tell you all that I'm excited to have her because I had the pleasure of meeting her through my boyfriend who knows I love granola and was like, "You're not gonna believe this. You got there." First of all, it was like, who gets excited over granola? Me. Then who gets excited that she's a Black business? Me. Then did you know she's a woman? Me. So all of that was like, oh my gosh. So we got to talk about that. But before we get into this gluten-free snack that I think everyone should be able to indulge in this over the holidays, I want to know who Lisa is as a little girl. I know you told us that your family, you and your husband went on a cruise. Let me make sure, not the family.
Not the family.
Because you have raised some amazing kids. But before you were raising kids and getting married, who was Lisa as a little girl?
Lisa, as a little girl, was a shy little girl who was looking for her identity early, because when you're raised on the south side of Chicago and you have a mom and dad and 5 siblings, you tend to want to figure out who you are. And so I had a lot of that early on, trying to determine what my dreams, my goals, my ambitions were, and not just what my mom and dad wanted us to be.
Okay.
We were raised primarily right around 51st and Drexel.
Oh, okay. Near where I live.
So
Okay.
we went to Grant Memorial AME Church really early on. My father was the custodian there. And I remember having such great days, such wonderful holidays there. But also understanding that we didn't have a whole lot.
Yeah.
We just didn't. When you have 6 kids, first of all, oh, my mother, she was the backhand to the mouth. I don't want to hear not a peep from you, mama. Yes, true Black mama.
We need them, right?
Yes, we need. I wish we had more now.
Yeah, me too.
Because she did not play that snickering under your breath, talking, what you say, nothing.
And you had all brothers?
I have 3 brothers, and I
Okay.
have 2. I had 2 sisters. I lost one of my sisters in 2018.
Oh, wow. I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah, so there are 5 of us left.
Okay.
My mom's passed away, and my mom is the whole reason that Miss Peace exists.
Beautiful.
You see, in 2009, when I found out I needed to be gluten-free, first of all, I didn't know what that was.
Yeah.
Second of all, it was the same year she passed away. So the symptoms that I was experiencing.
Can you tell us those symptoms so that
Yes.
people can really understand that a little bit more?
Absolutely. I had acid reflux. I had digestive issues. I had, when I tell you severe flatulence, I could clear a room. I could clear a room. Be like, my husband was like, you too pretty to smell like that. I was like, yeah, it was bad.
Wow.
It was, and I had suffered for years and years. Even when I was in college and I went to Western Illinois University in Macomb.
Okay.
And back then I was diagnosed with a spastic colon.
Okay.
And when I was diagnosed as needing to be gluten-free a few years ago, they were like, it's probably gluten back then, but nobody knew anything about gluten.
Right.
And so when I was diagnosed, I was so thankful that I finally understood why I always felt terrible.
Wow.
I mean, between the belching and the flatulence and the digestive issues, I mean, all the time.
Wow.
And not to mention the acid reflux, just constantly feeling like there's issues. So going gluten-free for me, once I found out what was going on, was a no-brainer. I needed to feel better. I needed to understand what was going on with my body. And since that time, I've really dug deep into understanding me and how my body feels and how I move and what I need. So I need to work out.
Yeah.
I work out probably 5-6 days a week. I need that for myself.
Yeah.
And my husband's like, if you're rushed, if you don't have time, how are you working out? Because somebody will die if I don't.
Yeah.
Probably
good.
you.
That's
But
Probably, yeah.
you know them husbands, girl.
I love it.
But it's understanding what your body needs and listening, because a lot of times we're moving so fast we don't listen. We don't hear our bodies when we're digesting stuff that it doesn't like fighting us. And we need to listen. We need to understand what works and what doesn't. Because if you continue to put stuff in your body that doesn't work, then you come up with all these issues: diabetes, hypertension, cancer.
Yeah, all of them.
All of them. Yeah.
And I think, first of all, I'm loving that you are here during this time of the year, because I think obviously you lost your mother and I just recently lost mine. To know that you built this business in honor of her.
Yeah.
And also in honor of people not having to have to feel like that. That's the part. Like not having to feel sick. Like you got to accept the fact that this is what it is. And you found a solution to say, no, I don't have to live like that.
Right.
And so did your mom have the same issues?
My mom, unfortunately, passed away so early. She was only 60 when she passed. And so we really didn't dive deep into family histories and family dynamics. I knew ours were sorted, and I would love to have had conversations with her around menopause, around family dynamics, why we feel a certain way or do certain things, but that never occurred because she was so young.
Yeah.
She passed away in 2009 at 60.
Okay.
My dad, he passed away. He was 42 when he passed.
Wow.
He had a stroke.
Okay.
And then thought that he was better, checked out of the hospital, and had another stroke. And that was it. And then in 2018, I lost my middle sister, Vanita, to a heart attack. She was 51. Wow. So for me, creating Miss P's is not just honoring my mom. I mean, that is a huge part of it, but it's also changing my family dynamics. It is changing the way we eat, the way we think. It is telling our future family members that you can do anything you put your mind to, because it's not where you come from, it's where you're going. And I started this with no retail knowledge, no money, and no social media.
Wow.
So if anybody has a burning desire to do anything and you're just afraid to take that first step, I tell you to take it. Take baby steps, which is what we've done. We've taken baby steps after baby steps after baby steps, and now we are ready to soar. We are so ready to soar. I mean, just from understanding retail to understanding packaging to understanding social media to understanding marketing and branding, and now to have a product that is in Whole Foods and Fresh Time. We just hit the shelf in Fresh Time. So, yeah. And
I'm in awe just sitting here with you, because her passion for this is what shows up. It's your passion. For someone who I believed I have a gluten issue just because I was having these breakouts that were just out of control. And so to your point, I was like, I don't have to feel like this, or I don't have to experience this. Let me try this. Let me see what's available. And so I started to eat and choose things that were gluten-free. And I started to feel different. So I could have, but I doctor didn't say, but I knew that something wasn't right. And so to your point, it was like, you you kind of talk to your mom. Oh, it's, because that generation is very different. And
Very
I like
different,
that you're
yeah.
saying, like, we're building options. But I think the other part that I think is really cool is the fact that we, as Blacks,
Yes.
Americans, are choosing this path of healthy eating at a rapid rate. Like, before I felt like we were just like, it is what it is, because to your point, diabetes, cancer, but it is choosing our habits and the food that we eat and choosing that wisely. And so when I look at your product, I say there was thought. There was obviously legacy. There is, I want people to be healthy. That's what I see in your products. Like, I want people, I'm not selling people on, yes, it is a great snack, guys. However you want to eat your granola, if you eat it with milk or not. I'm a girl that just literally gets a cup and put it in a cup and not eat it all day. So realizing, do you see people cooking with it, like cooking with your granola?
Yes, we see people creating, because we have a chocolate hazelnut pecan. And my brother's like, I took it and made cookies. I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Because he also, he's a year and a few months older than me. And his doctors have told him no more processed sugar. So our granola has no added processed sugar, so he can use it in making his cookies, and he can then enjoy. So, and
I
not,
might need him to give me that recipe over this. I told you guys over the holidays.
he truly is phenomenal.
I'm tackling new recipes this whole holiday season because it helps me to deal with grief. And so it helps me to create new recipes. Obviously, you miss your mom and the things that she did, but you're trying to find other things that can help you just to create some whatever. I always say it's a new normal, but you don't really know what to base it off because you've never not had your mama. So you just kind of like, okay, this is my new normal. I do want for our listeners to bring your attention to their website, which is Miss P's gluten-free. So that's Miss MSPS gluten-free.com. And I think that it's important because I noticed that a lot of kids are growing up being gluten-free.
Yes.
So these are great snacks for kids to bring in. Because when I was going to school, it was Friday. You can bring in snacks during the holidays.
Yeah.
And they don't do that no more. So you can't. I mean, you barely can have the kids come over and have a snack. You got to call the mama. Is it okay? Do they have the EpiPen? Like, it's a whole
thing. It truly is a whole thing.
It's a whole thing. So it's like, don't eat. Wait, let me make sure you call your mama.
Let me make sure. Because when we do in-store demos and kids run up to the thing, the first thing we're like, okay, Mom, are they okay?
Yeah.
Is it? And I will tell you that the kids that have to be gluten-free and who've had to do without, when they taste these products, they light up in the stores. They're like, Mommy, it's gluten-free. I can have it.
Yes.
I love that.
I know.
And just love being able to provide a healthy, nutritious, delicious snack that fills you up, fuels you up, keeps you moving.
Oh, it does.
Yes.
I mean,
and
I'm addicted to
amazing.
it. It does. And it's crazy because I was in, full disclosure, I was in Whole Foods. And I looked for it right when I got wind of who you were. My boyfriend brought it. Went to Whole Foods. They had just run out.
Oh.
Yeah, this said they had just run out. The man was like, the lady just took the last one and they didn't have it in the bag.
Oh.
And so I was like, okay, I'll be back. And then I just got some from Mariano's. But realizing that, to me, it was important during this time to highlight product business that are being sold in groceries, because I think the whole idea was for us to showcase, like, we don't all have to, don't get me wrong, being in the kitchen is amazing, right? And creating meals, because we know that food brings love.
It does.
It brings a level of like peace, right?
Yes.
And so, but there are products that do the same thing without you going into the kitchen
and slaving over
right?
it.
And
Yes.
slaving over.
Yes.
But there are people that have created it for you, and they look like you, and you can see that. And so I think from that is now creating this path, and I say path, that there are gluten-free products that are Black owned, that you can go and purchase and have them in your cupboard, in your pantry. And so it can be part of, a snack for your kids, but it also can be a snack for adults when you're just sitting around watching TV, or even taking it into lunch, for lunch when you're back in the office. And so I want to say, like, to me, as I, really look at it from that standpoint, is what was the fascination with granola? Was that something that you really liked growing up and you just didn't have a gluten-free option?
That's a really funny story, because my family never used to eat granola. Ever.
Wow.
Ever. And when I created, the first thing I created was our cookie bars. And that's what I let you taste earlier, which lots of people loved, because we have this fascination with chocolate.
Okay.
I'm a kind of chocoholic, but I'm in therapy.
Okay. No judgment here. We're no judgment zone podcast. Okay. No judgment.
So when I made the cookie bars, my husband's stepmom was like, I'm diabetic and I can't have the cookie bars. It's too sweet. So I was making granola, but I was using brown sugar. So I removed the brown sugar. I added a few drops of liquid organic stevia, which has no glycemic index. So it doesn't mess with your glycemic index because she's diabetic.
Okay.
And so I took it to her. Well, I gave it to my husband's cousin to give to her. After he finished eating it, he was like, I think she might need some more. I'm like, he's like, I think I lost weight. I'm like, did you eat it while you was walking around the track? But, but she loved it. And so when we went into Whole Foods initially, we went in with the granola and with the cookie bars. Then I went through the Good Food Accelerator from Naturally Chicago, which is now the Good Food Catalyst. And my mentor said, you can't scale a business with all these products you have. You need to choose one or two. Look to see what's selling, and then you focus on that.
That's awesome advice.
So he was He is amazing, because we still talk to this day. And so when I looked at the numbers, the granola was outselling the cookie bars 2-1. I said, how? How? And so he said, okay, you've got this fabulous granola. Now you need 2 variations of it so that you have 3 SKUs total. And that's what you scale. And then you can reintroduce other things. And I was like, okay.
I love it.
So I started making it, and the Berry Nutty, which was our original granola with the whole raw cashews, whole raw almonds, organic gluten-free oats, organic flax, organic chia, organic coconut oil, organic spices. And then came our Harvest Blend for our lovely customers and consumers that can't do tree nuts. So it's got organic pumpkin seed and raw sunflower seed and cranberries, but it's got all the delicious organic products. And none of our granola have any added processed sugar.
So that was why I'm so glad you brought that up, because I wanted to just share with you all that all of the ingredients are things that you could pronounce.
Yay!
And are all the things that you know. Like, it's nothing like, what is that, mommy?
Right.
It's organic rolled oats. It's sunflower seeds. It's organic raw pumpkin seeds. It's honey, these are all on the back of the granola packaging. And I think that's also important, because we are now, to me, are more knowledgeable about our purchases now. We're looking on the back.
Yes.
We're like, wait, what's that? I'm even, sometimes I'm always like, let me Google this. What does this do? And so full disclosure, I think you're being very transparent for your purchasers to be able to know, like, no, it's all here. Like, it's clear. Organic ground nutmeg, organic cinnamon, organic stevia extract, organic rosemary extract. Like, all of this is stuff I got in my cupboard right now. So that alone gives us, to me, an opportunity to say, I can have this, right? And not go into a store. Because sometimes you go into a store, you're like, man, the doctor just gave me this diagnosis. I can't eat anything. There's nothing out there. And so knowing that there is a product that was very thoughtful, that was intentional to make sure that those that have these series of diagnoses can enjoy granola.
Yes.
I mean, enjoy it because I know I love it. I mean,
Yes.
and to your point, I had to choose certain granola because a lot of them had a lot of sugar in it.
Yes.
And I was like, you know what? I can't do this. But again, it's realizing that's important. And I'll tell you this, we've, obviously shared this with you, but I was telling Couture, and I've said this in our episode, how do we highlight food without TV, right? Because it's not normally, right? You have a kitchen. And so I wanted us to highlight in a way that as you're listening, that it's going to make you, if you're driving or you're walking, that you're going to go to the grocery store, you're going to go online and you're going to order it.
Yes.
So that was the way that we look at it. Like, we can talk to you about it, which I think sometimes in the kitchen, the food shows, they don't give you the history. They don't give you that the ingredients that are very, it's like it's presented well and it's beautiful. But I wanted to make sure that our listeners who have specific things that they're looking for that can literally say, you know what, it's the holiday time. Let me try something new. And we find that during the holidays, people do that.
Yes.
People do that. Like, just like now, I'm like, maybe I can make cookies.
Yeah.
You want to try different ways. And so what is there anything that people have done that's blown your mind with your granola?
We had one person who took, I believe it was our chocolate hazelnut pecan, and she made like a sweet potato something with the granola on top.
Ooh.
Oh, it was phenomenal. I was like, oh, I like that. Now for us at home, remember I told you we never used to eat granola. Now we eat it almost all the time because we know it's good for you and the good for you ingredients that we put into it. So for us, we just get our fruit, and I prefer organic fruit. I prefer organics because you don't have the pesticides. You don't have all of the crap that goes into our food nowadays going into that. Because in order for it to be organic, it has to pass all kinds of testing, government testing, and they do not play when it comes to organic. So I choose the organics, and then I get yogurt, and we look for the good yogurt.
Non-dairy. Non-dairy. So what is
non-dairy,
it called?
so delicious.
Yes. One of my favorites.
Yogurt is what we like.
Yes.
And we then spread our granola on top of that and talk about good snacking.
It's delightful. It's so delightful. It's like deliciously delightful, all of it.
Yeah,
oh my
and
gosh.
good for you. Fruit is good for you. Yogurt's good for you.
Oh my gosh.
Miss Peas is great for you.
Oh my gosh. Like, Lisa, trust me when I tell you, came here bearing gifts. Now we over here like, okay, yes, yogurt. And that was another thing I had to get very specific on, finding non-dairy alternatives for yogurt. So again, this is an opportunity. So let's talk about, because I think I mentioned this with you when I was talking to you at an event you were showcased. What about collaborations and partnerships? Knowing that your granola could be paired with yogurts, have you been able to ink any partnerships?
We are looking at that now. We have reached out to So Delicious. We hadn't really heard anything yet, but we will continue to reach out to them because they're the yogurt that we prefer. Yeah. And if we could pair them together, even at one of our Whole Foods at the River Forest store, they have the yogurt and our granola side by side. And they're like, it sells so much better like that because people want them both, because that's how we demo them too in the stores. Yeah. So would love to have a partnership with them. We'd love to partner with athletic organizations to talk about how their athletes can fuel up on Miss Peas. And they're not getting that extra sugar, but they're getting everything else that they need to continue to move and to perform.
I love that.
So, we are really looking at
so
at
even
some
like maybe even some of the places that have, like fitness studios that are from,
We've got some good friends that have some fitness studios, and We've had our granola in there, and we just need to make sure we're solidifying those partnerships because you get so busy doing everything. And especially when you're in retail, you are running at top speed.
Yeah.
Trying to get everything done and stay on top of everything and talking to the buyers and doing in-store demos and scheduling the demos, and it's just a lot. But I love partnerships.
Tell me, and based on partnerships, I want to ask you this: knowing where you are today and building out partnerships and building out, is that kind of the long-term goal of the brand? And then the other question I want to ask you is, sometimes people feel like, well, once you are in retail, you kind of don't need to, because you've kind of got that retail giant. What's your thoughts? Some people feel like, they're now in Whole Foods. And so the idea, I want to get your thoughts around that too. So from a collaboration standpoint, I want to talk from that standpoint is how you guys are leveraging that to be able to build, but then managing your retail. Because how do you retail, like you've got to serve that palette, right?
Yes.
That they request, and then you're also selling from online. So what are some of those challenges that you find?
There are lots and lots of challenges to that. Going into retail and securing that retail space is just the beginning. If you sit on the shelf in retail and you're not selling, you won't be there very long. So we have to invest in the business by doing in-store demos. We've also partnered with a demo company to come in and help us, especially after we picked up the 44 Mariano's locations because we couldn't manage them all. But building a business is about understanding strategies, understanding where you're going, how you're going, and what you need to do to get there. So being in Whole Foods, being in Fresh Time, being in Mariano's is wonderful, but we also want to serve our customers and consumers well. Our whole thing is getting people to eat healthier, cleaner, move more, live longer, and spreading that message, whether it be B2B or B2C, and then letting people know how much we do care. Because again, I created this in honor of my mom, but I also want to build a legacy business. My 10-year-old granddaughter says she wants to run this piece at some point.
I love it.
And I want to ensure that she has that opportunity.
Yes. That's
because
beautiful.
I didn't see that at 10.
Yeah.
But she does.
But she does.
She
You
does.
planted the seed in her.
Yes.
That's incredible.
Yes. So I'm building a legacy business. So it's about managing the retail part, the consumer part, and now we're looking to expand even into California. So we're talking to a grocer in California, in Malibu, who is looking to carry our products. So we are so thankful. Thank you.
And your granddaughter can actually listen to this podcast. That's why we did a audio podcast, because we wanted a space where all people, all ages can log on and listen to, their loved ones on, sometimes they can't, get on social media, because they're not old enough. But I say, whether you're 5 or you're 80, you can log on and listen to a podcast. So I do want to ask you this as we close. Why do Black businesses matter?
Black businesses matter because Black people matter. Yeah. We have to, hold each other up and hold each other down. That's what we have to do. I've seen so many, especially if I'm in the stores doing demos, who will breeze past us. I'm like, y'all need to come try this. This is mine. They're like, oh, this you? Let me come over here. I'm just gonna buy some. I don't even need to taste it. Long as I know this you, I'm just gonna take. And I love that. We really, if we don't advocate, work together, help each other, who will?
Yeah.
Who will?
Yeah.
Because when I see people who look like me and I know the struggle behind Black businesses, I'm supporting you. I'm buying. I'm going. Yeah. Even if it's, okay, it's a little bit more. Yeah, because I know the struggle. And the struggle is real.
It is real.
It is real. It is not easy to come up with an idea that becomes a product that goes into retail and then is for sale at these major big box companies. And it's not easy.
Yeah.
It is by no stretch of the imagination is it simple or easy.
Yeah.
There is a lot that goes into it. And my prayer is at some point I'm going to feel the fruits of all this labor. We're not feeling them yet.
Yeah.
But it takes a while to get there. And I just say Black businesses so matter because we matter.
Yeah.
We have to take care of each other.
Yeah.
And that's the biggest thing.
And you have a product that allows us to live on, which means that we matter, right?
Yes.
That you are creating a product where we can be healthy and be delicious and live a long time. So I think that's important that we get to matter. So Lisa, as you're building, what brings you joy?
Family, faith, friends, all the wonderful things. I know from my personal struggles that without family, I don't know that this journey would be worth it because this is a challenge. If I had known everything I needed to do to grow Miss Peas, if God had to reveal that to me, I'd say, nope, I'm not doing that. But he's smart. He gives it to you in little bitty pieces. So that once you walk through it, you're like, okay, I can do that. Well, what's next? Yeah. And so family, faith, friends, and just living a life that is full of joy and love.
Oh,
I love that.
I love that.
Yeah, I live for that.
I love that. I love that. And so, we're doing this food series for this month. I do want to ask you, because you'll be closing out our food season. And I want to ask you, what are you most looking forward to this holiday season?
Ooh, I love the holidays. Ask my husband. He's like, oh, here she goes again. I so go overboard.
I think we all do. I know.
He's like, would you not do that? Yeah. And every year it's the same thing. Just to bring families together because we are running so throughout the year, you don't get a chance to connect with all of your relatives, your family, your friends. But during the holiday season, it's something special about getting together and wishing everybody well and passing those little trinkets. They don't have to be much, but just something from the heart that says, I think about you, I love you. Even if I only talk to you once or twice a year, please know that you are in my thoughts and in my prayers.
Words are powerful during a holiday. I think it's so important for that. So guys, I want to allow for you all to learn more about Mrs. P's granola. This is just the beginning of what they're building. I'm just going to tell you that. They're building out granola, but I just got a feeling there's some other things brewing, so you need to follow them. I'm going to allow Lisa to share their handles where you can find them so that you can learn more about the things that they're doing within the community in Chicago. Obviously, she just shared with us in California, so there is going to be some amazing things. So if you could just share your handles for folks to be able to connect with you there too.
Absolutely. Many of our social media handles are just very simple, MSPSG free. And our new website that just came online is MSPSglutenfree.com. Check us out, leave us feedback, sweeten up your inbox, and connect with us so that you can follow our journey. And we love building communities. So
I love it. I absolutely love it, guys. Like literally, you may want to put this on your list for the holidays. For, you know what, the holidays, you got Valentine's Day coming. You got a whole lot of stuff coming on. So,
and I'm a Valentine baby.
Ooh.
My birthday, February 14th.
Oh, so really a real Valentine.
I'm a real Valentine.
She a real Valentine baby. So I need you guys to put this on your list. I don't know about you, but some of us who are intentional about making purchases, I know I'm intentional about making purchases from Black businesses. And so if this is something that you do during the holidays, certainly You can wrap this up, give it to a friend that's gluten-free, and I'm sure they will love you for it, because for those of us who are gluten-free, if we can find something that literally allows us to not feel horrible, we are all over it, and it's built by us. So thank you so much, Lisa, for being here, for just coming and bearing gifts with us in the studio. And I'm just going to say, for everybody else, go get this granola. I'm telling you, you're going to thank us for it.
Yes, you will.
Thank you so much, Lisa, for being on the show. I appreciate you all. Go check her out. As she said, Mrs. P's glutenfree.com. Again, go to her website. You can order online. They can ship it to you. Or you can go into some of the grocery stores that she shared, Whole Foods, Mariano's,
Fresh Time.
Fresh Time.
Yes.
Some of the other places that you can get it. So I just want to say thank you all. Thank you all for listening to our holiday series on food. We brought you some incredible food engineers and food providers and food entrepreneurs. And so I hope that gives you an opportunity to build your pantry, build your cupboard, build, the place where you hold all this, with that are businesses that are made by Black entrepreneurs. Thank you guys for tuning in, and we will see you next week.
The Black Businesses Matter podcast is produced by the L3 Agency, a culturally sensitive influencer, marketing, and communications firm in Chicago, where relationships are our currency, passion is our profit maker, and people are our bottom line. Follow us on Instagram at Black Businesses Matter.